Part 29. Assassination Attempts. As time passed, the intensity grew, and acts of violence and aggression escalated. News eventually spread that the Quraysh planned to assassinate the Prophet. A neighbor warned Fatima, and she informed the Prophet, to which he responded, "My dear daughter, fetch me some water." The Prophet then performed ablution, made dua to Allah, and walked to the mosque. His enemies were in the mosque, armed and ready to kill him, but were all suddenly paralyzed. The Prophet threw dust in their faces and said, "May their faces be cursed." Just like the aforementioned narration of Ibn Mas'ud, every one of these people were killed in the Battle of Badr. Pondering upon these extreme hardships, one may wonder why Allah's foremost messenger was tested in such a manner. Why was the greatest generation on earth subjugated to such dire tribulations? Allah is reminding the believers that we were not created to live in comfort on earth. The purpose of our creation is to be tested in preparation for the hereafter. Allah states,
"He is the one who created the heavens and the earth in 6 days, and his throne was upon the waters, in order to test which of you is best in deeds." Surah 11, verse 7.
Allah reminds the Prophet and companions, and through them he reminds us, that we were not created to merely live. We were created for something greater. While we do not and cannot truly earn paradise, we can earn Allah's mercy, which in turn enters us into paradise. Allah states,
Alif, Lam, Mim. Do people think once they say we believe that they will be left without being put to the test? We certainly tested those before them, and Allah will clearly distinguish between those who are truthful and those who are liars. Surah 29, verses 1 to 3.
He further states,
"Do you think you will enter paradise without Allah, proving which of you truly struggled for his cause and patiently endured?" Surah 3, verse 142.
And,
"Do you think you will be admitted into paradise without being tested like those before you?" Surah 2, verse 214.
even Habab, who remained steadfast and undeterred in the face of severe torture, momentarily felt deflated and asked the Prophet,
"For how long, O Messenger of Allah? For how long will we be tortured like this? You are the Messenger of Allah. Why don't you ask Allah to help us?"
The Prophet was leaning against the Kaaba, but leaned forward and sat straight, responding, "Indeed, the people before you were tortured worse than this. One of them would have their flesh stripped from their bones by a comb of iron, and another would be cut in half by a sword, but that would still not turn them away from the worship of Allah. Indeed, I swear to you by the one who sent me, that Allah will perfect this matter until you will see a day when a shepherdess will take her flock from Hadramaut to Sana'a, fearing no one except Allah and the wolf against her sheep. However, you are a hasty people." The Prophet did not relent in his belief and faith in Allah. Indeed, the earliest followers of Christ suffered a similar fate, enduring equally severe torture and persecution. The prophets and righteous believers of the past were tested by Allah according to their caliber and piety. Even the messengers of Allah were required to prove their devotion to the Almighty. A Muslim's level and status in the sight of Allah can be measured according to their struggles and subsequent patience in those struggles. Allah states,
"Surely the most noble of you in the sight of Allah is the most righteous among you." Surah 49, verse 13.
The companions hold the highest status in Islam due to their unparalleled struggle in the cause of Allah. And even among the companions there are levels. Those who accepted Islam in Mecca and endured those struggles have their own station above those who accepted later. Allah states,
"Those of you who donated and fought before the conquest of Mecca are unparalleled. They are far greater in rank than those who donated and fought afterwards." Surah 57, verse 10.